Quezon City 4th District Representative Bong Suntay is questioning the government's campaign against illegal sabong, saying website shutdowns are not enough without arrests of operators. But other than that, persistent problems such as flooding continue to plague his district in other areas. Let's discuss those further with Congressman Bong Suntay, who joins us this morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Congressman.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. Good morning.
Siguro unahin na lang po muna natin yung mga pagbaha sa Quezon City over the weekend. This is, of course, the most urgent concern. I guess, una-una ho, ano po nangyari? Bakit po kaya ganun katindi yung mga pagbaha?
Well, first of all, Gretchen, talagang unprecedented yung rainfall na nangyari the other day dito sa Quezon City.
Correct.
Yung ulan na bumagsak in a 1 hour span was equivalent to 5 days of rain. Kaya naman hindi talaga kinaya ng mga drainage. Aside from the fact na talagang yung drainage system sa Quezon City, most of them are 60 or 70% silted na. Talagang hindi na kaya yung carrying capacity. We have to to improve the drainage system, the existing drainage system within the city.
But I do know, I'm very aware that the city of Quezon City has created a flood control master plan. Ito nga po nagpe-press con si Mayor Joy about it, and also kasama yung UP Resilience Institute. Ito po ay yung mga plano dito hindi pa nai-implement, ibig sabihin?
Well, alam mo, hindi pa na-implement yan eh. In fact, that was something which I questioned during one of the budget hearing ng DPWH in Congress. Dahil sinabi ko, DPWH has been spending, or the national government has been spending billions of pesos on flood control projects, flood control programs, drainage improvement. Nung tinanong ko if they are following a master plan, well, Secretary Bonoan at that time admitted na wala silang sinusunod na drainage master plan. Sabi ko, aside from the fact na walang sinusundan na drainage master plan, walang coordination rin within the LGUs. At coordination should not be done hindi lang sa Quezon City government, because kailangan ang coordination is multi-city, dahil ang ulan o ang floodwaters na dumaraan sa Quezon City, hindi lang naman, it doesn't only stay in Quezon City. Yan dumadaan rin sa city ng Pasig at Taguig to go out sa Laguna de Bay. Dumadaan din sa San Juan at saka sa City of Manila para naman lumabas sa Manila Bay. Kaya coordination should be multi-city at hindi lang limited to the Quezon City government.
You have oversight over the flood control budget, like Congressman Puno, right? Did you bring these issues up when you were deliberating the 2025 budget?
I did. In fact, alam mo, Gretchen, I questioned the fact that kasi during the previous term, nung 2022 to 25, I was not a sitting congressman, but there were around 3.8 billion on flood control programs which was allocated for the 4th District of Quezon City. And obviously, because of the continued flooding, hindi pa rin effective. Kaya nga, nung hearing namin with the DPWH, I was saying na, teka muna, kung wala tayong sinusunod na drainage master plan at lagay ng pera dyan sa flood control programs na taon-taon na lang tapos hindi natatapos, ay itigil na muna natin yan. Kailangan let's get our acts, bring our acts together, put our acts together. Let's coordinate with the Quezon City government para alam nila kung ano yung mga ginagawa natin at kailangan gawin. And at the same way, ang Quezon City rin. Dahil it cannot only be left with the national government alone. Dapat ang Quezon City rin, ang LGU should also do its part para hindi nasasayang yung pera at walang duplication ng ginagawang mga programa at proyekto. Talagang kailangan coordinated. And in fact, I sat down with Mayor Joy when I was once again elected to office. Naupo ako to talk about this flood control program na dapat talagang coordinated.
Ito pong flood control master plan ni na Mayor Joy at ng UP Resilience Institute, kailan po ito nagawa? Nabuo?
Well, actually, that was commissioned by the LGU, I think a couple of years back. Pero as I mentioned, I just came back to I was just elected to office itong 2025, and the first thing I did was to sit down with Mayor Joy to talk about yung coordination between programs and projects that we will do in the district, especially when it comes to the flood control.
Oo. Eto, I know you mentioned you just came back into the 4th district, but one of those places under your jurisdiction is South Triangle, na talagang
Yes, that's
nakaranas
true.
ng matinding pagbaha this weekend. Makikita po natin sa may tabi ng ABS-CBN, sa may
Yeah,
Mother
yung Mother
Ignacia.
Ignacia.
Actually, pag dumadaan ho kami doon, talagang laging baha. I mean, hindi naman po siya bagong datos, no? Ano po kaya sa tingin nyo ang dapat gawin? Anong pinaka-problema po doon sa specific area po na yun? Nag-viral din po
Okay.
yun eh.
First of all, Gretchen, if you remember before, ang baha sa Timog was nandun sa may pagkalampas mo ng Tomas Morato. It was in front of yung Music 21 sa may Shell dati, dyan bumabaha. During my time, 2019 yan, that was the time that we started improving the drainage in that particular area. In fact, tinaas natin pati yung kalsada at naglagay tayo ng malalaking box culvert. Kaya ngayon, in front of yung Music 21, hindi na nagbabaha. Unfortunately, meron parte dyan na hindi natapos. Yun yung sa harap ng burger machine going out to Quezon Avenue, which ngayon isinama natin na I made sure na kasama yan kasi from Tomas Morato to yung to Burger Machine along Timog, malaki na yung drainage yan, box culvert nga. Ang problema from Burger Machine hanggang Quezon Avenue o palabas ng yung nagdudugtong ng drainage papunta Quezon Avenue, hindi nagawa yan. So kailangan gawin. Now, ang isa pang area na nagbabaha dyan is yung Mother Ignacia going to Samar. Yung kanto ng Samar, yun yung pinakita. I think the other day. Water comes from EDSA dahil mataas yung EDSA, bumababa yan papuntang Samar. And I also made sure I sat down with yung ating district engineer at saka si Dale, yung city engineer naman ng Quezon City, and we informed him na kasama yon dun sa tinutulak kong mapondohan para mapagawa. We have to put a bigger drainage dun sa lugar na yon.
Hindi po kakayanin po kaya yung mga water catchment area no, sa ilalim ng lupa?
Well,
Katulad
that's
po
that's another thing. That's why, Gretchen, yung drainage na pinopropose ko are really the big ones that will also serve as a water catchment. But that's also under one of the consideration, yung maghuhukay tayo ng yung parang mga swimming pool type. Pero magandang ilagay yon sa bigger area eh. Kasi kung maghuhukay tayo along Mother Ignacia Avenue at this time, palagay ko masyadong matagal at maiinis yung mga tao sa tagal natin gagawin yan.
Ito po ay naisisiwalat na no, sa publiko ngayon na parang marami pa lang sa mga proyekto ng DPWH ay hindi naaayon sa plano o sa pangangailangan ng mga community. Pero I guess the question on people's minds is, where will we or when will we have some form of accountability here? Are you also hoping to contribute to the probe proposed by Congressman Puno in your district, in your city?
Yes.
Paano kaya tayo magkakaroon ng hustisya dito? No? Kasi kita po natin, maliliit po ang naghihirap pag tuwing may sakuna o kaya may bagyo.
Alam mo, totoo po yan. In fact, ang panawagan ko lagi is for accountability. Ako, lagi kong sinasabi sa mga tao, sa mga kapwa natin Pilipino, we should hold both our elected and appointed officials accountable for all their actions. Kailangan hinahanap natin, ano ba yung ginagawa nila? Saan ba napupunta yung proyekto? Saan dinadala yung pera ng gobyerno? And pagka gumawa silang programa, proyekto, ano yung naging resulta? We have to hold everyone accountable. I think that is something which is lacking in our country. Kaya pati yung korupsyon, alam mo, pataas ng pataas, palaki ng palaki. Nagiging brazen na yung korupsyon dahil sa atin because of lack of accountability. Lagi kong sinasabi, kailangan may makulong. Hindi pwedeng walang nakukulong eh. But because until and unless we hold both elected and appointed officials accountable for their action, mangyayari lang ng mangyayari ulit yan.
Do you think that
when it comes to yung probe, ako actually I was the first one to suggest na siguro ang investigation be done by an independent body. Wag lang yung let's not leave it sa Kongreso alone. Hindi sa wala akong tiwala sa mga tao sa Kongreso dahil madami pa namang mga congressman at mga senador natin ang matitino at gumagawa ng tama. But to avoid any notion of prejudice or biases or any cover-ups, then an independent panel should be formed by our president to look into all these allegations of corruptions and ghost projects.
May mukhang marami hong sisilip dito kung nangyari po yan, including your predecessor, who of course had oversight over the budget. Saan po napunta yun? And you're discovering now na hindi sang-ayon sa pangangailangan.
I believe it's just right, di ba? Kailangan managot yung kailangan managot. Because unless we hold people accountable, then uulit lang yan at lalakas ng loob. Dati-rate, lagi ko ngang sinasabi, dati-rate, yung mga gawain ganyan, tinatago pa. Yung dati, pero ngayon, it's out in the open. Hindi na tinatago, hindi na dati pakurut-kurut lang. Ngayon they're getting the entire pie, not just a piece of it.
Kayo po ba ay nagkaroon din ng ganong klaseng offer katulad ni Congressman Leviste?
Well, ngayon alam mo, because I was never the type to accept anything even when I was in the city council. So siguro hindi na nagkakaroon ng attempt sa akin na ma-bribe ako ng ganyan. In fact, the first thing I did, one of the first things that I did was to tell the RD and the D in my district, sabi ko, ang una sa lahat, tatanggalin natin yung mga flood control na unnecessary dahil yan i-account muna natin kung saan napunta yung pondo na nilaan dyan. Secondly, ayoko ng paulit-ulit na road maintenance. Sabi ko, yung mga asphalt overlay na paulit-ulit na ginagawa doon sa mga kalsada, sa mga main roads natin na hindi naman kailangan. Sabi ko hindi na dapat gawin yan at ilagay natin yung mga proyekto doon sa lugar kung saan talaga kinakailangan to at mapapakinabangan ng tao.
Is it possible to craft legislation that will raise the involvement of the local government? Over the weekend, I also remember Mayor Joy complaining about the lack of coordination from the contractors. Paano kaya po masusolusyonan yun?
Alam mo, there is coordination. If we have to strengthen any legislations that will improve coordination, I'm all for it. But when it comes to infrastructure projects, alam mo, ang alam ko kino-coordinate sa city yan because ang contractor dapat kumuha ng permit sa LGU before they proceed with any public work project to be undertaken in any particular area.
Parang hindi raw kasi yung flood control, sa aking nabasa, ay hindi naman daw mabibigyan ng building permit because it is not a building. Hindi rin siya mabibigyan ng, nakalimutan ko na may isa pang permit na hindi naman kailangan. Pero yun nga po yung inireklamo ng mga LGU officials na bakit hindi na to humihingi ng permit sa amin. Parang they just do their projects.
Well, kasi ako during my time all the projects were coordinated with the LGU. In fact, like what I said, kung totoo man na hindi nagkakaroon ng coordination ngayon, I'm willing to sit down with Mayor Joy. If she needs any legislation crafted, I'm willing to file it in Congress and push for it.
Okay, now let's
Kasi
move on over to go ahead sir, if you're not yet done.
Kasi ako, ang paniwala ko talaga, itong problema na dinaranas natin is not just a problem of Congress, it's also a problem of the LGU. That's why both the national government and the local government should work hand in hand together. in trying to solve all this problem. And yung budget rin na kailangan dyan, alam mo, it's not, hindi rin maliit ang gastusin dyan para wag masayang ang pondo ng LGU at ng national government. Then programs that they undertake should really be coordinated with each other.
Okay, we look forward to that coordination. Hopefully that problem gets solved. But going to the story before this interview, the issue on illegal e-sabong, you've raised a question there. Why aren't arrests being made if they're closing down these websites? Ano po nakita niyo po doon?
Totoo, ano ba doon sa briefing na nangyari? Ang sinabi nga, ang sinasabi was there are around over 53,000 illegal online gambling sites which have proliferated. Eh sabi ko, okay, anong ginagawa nyo pagka merong illegal na sites which are being operated? So sabi nila, they try to shut it down. So sabi ko sa dami ng sinara natin, humihingi ako ng datos. So ilan na yung kinasuhan? Well, apparently, wala silang nakakasuhan dahil mahirap raw hulihin kung sino yung nag-ooperate ng gaming site. Alam mo, like with everything in our country, sabi ko, kung walang taong makakasuhan, ang ginagawa lang natin, isasara yan, tapos nun, magbubukas lang din sila. Then, nagsasayang lang tayo ng oras. Ang pinagtataka ko lang, bakit lahat, ang ordinaryong tao, alam nila kung anong site papasukan, parang ang gobyerno lang lagi ang hindi nakakaalam kung anong site ang kailangan pasukan.
And you're referring specifically to the e-sabong websites?
Well, not only e-sabong, but there are a lot of
all the illegal
gaming sites
gambling,
which are online. In fact, I filed a House bill which seeks to prohibit online gambling. Dahil alam mo, what is frustrating, Gretchen, is that ang betting na nangyayari dito sa mga online sites, as low as 10 pesos, pwede kang pumusta. Karamihan ng pumupusta, data has been has shown that over 78% ng bettors are coming from the vulnerable sectors of our society, yung mga mahihirap na taong nagsusugal. Hindi lang yung mahihirap, pati yung kabataan, mga kabataan nagagawang pumusta. And ang gobyerno natin bigay ng ayuda. Pero yung ayuda na binibigay sa mga tao, sa mga nangangailangan, siguro big portion of it na are channeled into this online gambling kasi marami sa mga kapwa Pilipino natin ang nangangarap at nag-iisip siguro, nagdarasal na baka pagka pumusta sila sa sugal, maaaring lumaki yung perang hawak-hawak nila, but that never happens. And we all know that, gambling is addictive, and once you get into it, talagang malululong ka dyan at magkakautang-utang ka. So it's about time that we stop online gambling. Let's prohibit online gambling dahil walang idudulot yan. Ang Singapore allowed gambling, pero yung casino type na gambling, but they allowed it dahil lang to complement yung tourism industry nila. They wanted foreigners to go to Singapore and gamble. What Singapore was after was money coming from yung mga tourists, money coming from foreigners. Pero dito sa atin, dito sa online gambling, ang kinukuha natin, pera ng mga kababayan natin. Sana kung yung pera ng mayayaman yung nakukuha natin. Ang problema, karamihan ang nakukuha natin pera ng mahihirap nating kababayan.
I remember we asked that question to DICT kung bakit wala po silang nakakasuhan dito. At ang nabanggit po nila ay marami po kasi dito sa mga website nito ay galing sa ibang bansa. Yung offshore gaming, that tayo naman po yung tinatarget. At the laws abroad, parang it's hard to, they're not as tight. That's why when you pursue these perpetrators, you'd have to have country-to-country diplomatic relations. Ayun po yung isa sa mga dahilan. Pero how far are you willing to take this probe with the House Committee on Human Rights? specifically on the case of Atong Ang, that meron pong mga nadadawit na rin po dito na mga pulis na sinasabi nilang maaaring magkaroon ng link sa drug war ng dating Pangulo. At what were the latest updates on the search for the bodies in Taal Lake?
Well, the latest update is nakakuha raw sila ng mga buto, apparently human bone sa mga nakuha nila. But the thing is, they cannot extract any DNA from the bones that they have gathered so far. Now, ngayon, the government is trying, our police force is trying to solicit the help of Japan to extract DNA from doon sa mga buto na nakuha nila. Yung akin lang kailangan kasi magtuloy-tuloy and we have to focus. Alam mo, ang attention kasi ng Pilipino, hindi lang yung mga mababatas, pero natin lahat is very short. Pagka may bagong issue na pumasok, nakakalimutan yung mga issue na which are already on hand. Itong investigasyon doon sa online, sa online sabong, and hindi lang yan, pati na yung online gaming in general, pwede naman pagsama-samahin yan para sa mag-conduct ng isang investigasyon ukol dyan. I believe that in Congress, they're trying to prepare a TRICOM to go and hold hearings with regards to yung missing sabungero, and they should continue it. Ang napigil lang yan dahil of course nung pumasok itong 20th Congress, new committee chairmen were appointed dahil na nagpalit ng mga congressmen, so nabinbin lang. But I hope that once na makumpleto yung mga committee chairmanship at saka yung mga members nito, magpatuloy na muli yung mga hearing. Not only dito ukol sa missing sa Pungero, but isama na rin natin yung online gambling.
Okay, maraming salamat sa updates doon sa hearing po ninyo at pati na rin po sa flood control sa Quezon City. Sana po makapag-propose po tayo ng mas magandang plano para sa inyong distrito at sa buong Quezon City. Okay. Thank you very much. We have 4th District Representative Bong Suntay joining us.